Alright guys, it's been a while. I've had a lot happen since the last time I've videoed. The reason that this is here is because I had to get towed. My big boy 7.3 had to pull my little baby 6.0 here. Sounds good. There's nothing wrong with the way it runs. Mechanical wise, I guess you could say. I mean, it sounds great. It idles great. Yesterday I took it out. I drove 3 miles and then it just shut off. I do have an issue with the oil cooler bypass valve. I ended up misplacing it, so I've got to order another one. And then also I've been dealing with hot no starts. Last week I did pull the driver's side valve cover to get at the standpipe and dummy plugs. Everything over there looks great. So it's not the passenger side. It's probably, I didn't change out the standpipe and dummy plugs on the driver's side because the standpipe and dummy plugs on the passenger side were actually the updated ones. They were the 12 the 12 millimeter Allen socket rather than the 10 millimeter. So I don't know, it could have the originals on the driver's side. I mean, I've never opened it up and looked at it. This weekend, which today is Tuesday, this weekend I do plan on pulling the the driver's side valve cover and taking a look in there and seeing if that's the problem. You know, does it have a blown O-ring on the standpipe or the dummy plugs? Regardless as to whether it's good or not, they're getting changed out anyway. I've got brand new standpipe and dummy plugs because when I bought the kit, it came with standpipe and dummy plugs for both driver and passenger side, and I literally only did the passenger side because that's where the bad injector is, or was. But here's the standpipe and there's the dummy plug. It's the updated one, as you can see. So this has been back here. I didn't want it stepped on or getting moisture or anything like that, so they are still inside their package. Because I do not need it damaged in any way whatsoever. But I mean, as you can hear, this engine, it idles just as smooth as can be. I'm noticing that the batteries only say 12.5. It should be 13 or higher. That's kind of weird. I don't have a battery light on. So, and these are good batteries that are in here. I pulled them off of my 7.3. So I'm wondering if there's an issue with my alternator and it's just not showing, because there's supposed to be a battery light if it were a bad alternator. But I could also check via just going onto one of the batteries underneath the hood and putting my ohm meter on it and seeing if it's doing anything. But I do know a bad alternator can cause a vehicle to shut down. But I know yesterday when I broke down, it was showing 97 psi on the IPR, and the duty cycle was at 84.7%. And then after I got towed back here yesterday, I tried to crank it again, and it showed 200 psi. I think 227 was where it maxed out yesterday. And then this morning before work, I came out here, started it up. It fired up instantly. and then I shut it off. I waited a couple seconds. I started it again. It fired right up. It did not hesitate. And then, you know, my truck's been sitting here. It's 102, 103, something like that. Now, it is in the shade for now. I mean, just now it's in the shade. But just think, you know, 12, 1, 2 o'clock. You know, it's just, what time is it? It is 4:34. So, I mean, this hasn't been sitting in the shade for that long. So, you know, that oil's been heated up pretty well by the sun. Not by much. But, I mean, it idles smoothly. I'm not taking it anywhere because I don't feel like having to have someone tow me back. You know, this is not exactly a small little car or, you know, a half-ton truck. This is a 3/4-ton truck. It's a pretty good-sized truck. And, you know, it takes a lot of fuel, even for that big boy 7.3 F350 over there. It does take some fuel. I had between 1/2 and 1/4 of a tank yesterday. And then, of course, having to tow me the 3 miles back home that I broke down, I was sitting just above 3/4 of a tank. Well, I was closer to 3/4 of a tank. And then, of course, I went to work and came back, which that's a round trip is a 28-mile round trip. And I'm sitting just at or just a hair above 3/4 of a tank. So, I mean, yeah, it's good fuel mileage for a 7.3, but I mean, I don't want to be putting that kind of mileage on my truck if I don't have to. But I mean, what really gets me, if you look, I've got just under a 1/2 tank of fuel of diesel in my 6.0. And so, I mean, this is a lot of fuel I could be using to take to work. Plus, this truck, it's not a long bed. You know, some people at work want to complain about my 7.3 because it's a long bed. They're like, oh, you know, you need to park that school bus somewhere else. Okay, how about no? But, I mean, like I said, this thing just sounds great. It sounds amazing. Let's get under here. Listen how smooth that sounds. You gotta love the sound of a 6.0. I mean, I love my 7.3. Do not get me wrong. But this 6.0, it's addicting. It really is. And I mean, when you get on it and you get to hear that Chewbacca roar, I mean, there's nothing like it. I mean, it's intoxicating. It really is. And then just listen to that turbine exhaust. So, I mean, you can't beat that. But I'm just trying to get this truck back to where, you know, I'm able to ride or drive it back and forth to work. And if we have to, you know, to town or, you know, just go on a nice trip. You know, don't get me wrong. I love my wife's SUV. But, you know, there's nothing like a diesel. Sorry, but there's just nothing like a diesel. But anyway, guys, I'm not going to sit here and talk your ears off over senseless crap. I just wanted to give you a little update as to what was going on, you know, how come I'm not really making a whole bunch of videos. I've been trying to figure out this issue with this truck because, again, it drives great. You know, there's no hesitation, nothing. I mean, it's a phenomenally sounding, you know, piece of machinery. But I'd like to get that squared away. and move on to bigger and better things. I do still need to replace the water pump in my 7.3. I have a brand new water pump in my back seat just waiting for me to install. It's just that it's been hectic and busy and, you know, one thing after another. So don't expect anything on my motorcycle channel, on my second channel, anytime soon. I made a big mistake and ended up breaking something really bad. So I will update on that later on down the road. But right now, the important thing is getting this truck up and going. And yeah, that's what my main concern is getting this truck squared away again. But as always, guys, there's more to come. Thanks for watching. Later, Gators.